Hello everyone, today is 18th of September, now it's 9:30 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my first update today from sunny Moscow. And yes, this is not a joke, whole September by the way, we have awesome weather here in Moscow and I hope it will stay this way at least before end of September, in best case of scenario until at least mid-October. That would be nice. But yes, this is first update, and there are plenty of important developments and news that I like to share with you in this update. And when it comes to additional news that Russian media will report during the day, I will talk about those news updates in my second update on my Patreon and Boosty pages. And if you are not subscribed to my Boosty or Patreon page, and if you want more news from Russia, please consider to do so. Please subscribe, that will be greater support of my work. Links are on this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. And well, let's start now. And when it comes to situation on Ukrainian battlefield, I will mention Ukrainsk settlement. This is a major update, basically, that Russian armed forces establish full control over this settlement, and Ukrainsk is under full Russian control now. Initiative is in Russian hands all along the front line, obviously. Despite all the attempts of Kyiv regime to regain control of lost territories, Kyiv regime forces are failing, basically. And they don't even have a slightest chance to regain initiative on any of their direction. In Kursk salient, by the way, another obviously hotspot, in Kursk salient, Russian troops continue counter-terrorist operation quite successfully, and in attempts to slow down Russian operation to liberate occupied territories, Kyiv regime launched this diversion operation, cross-border assaults, and reports are coming in that Kyiv regime troops managed to establish control over the Obuchovka settlement after several days of clashes. They lost several hundred military personnel and dozens of military vehicles in last several days in this direction. And when it comes to Obuchovka itself, by the way, this is the settlement, literally one road in a village, and for this to occupy this territory, the regime sacrificed several hundred of its citizens. Okay, now battles are for Vysyola settlement, and I'm quite sure the regime forces would not be able to establish control over the Vysyola. It's just not happening. But again, maybe I'm too optimistic, I don't know, time will tell. So yes, there were no major changes on the line of contact. The main update is liberation of Ukrainsk on Pokrovsk sector of the front line. That's being said, let's go through some other news now. And well, RIA Novosti is also reporting about Ukrainsk settlement, which is liberated. And as you can see on this picture here, banner was raised of one of the Russian military units over their settlement. Also, TASS news agency is reporting that during the night time, Russian armed forces intercepted, the Russian air defense systems intercepted 54 drones that Kyiv regime launched to strike deep inside the Russian territory. 27 drones were destroyed over the Kursk region, 16 over the Bryansk region, 7 over the Smolensk region, over the Belgorod region, 3 drones were destroyed, and over the Oryol region, 1 drone, although unfortunately, as a result of this night drone attacks of the Kyiv regime, one military munition depot, as I understand, was hit by Kyiv regime in relatively small, in close vicinity from relatively small town Toropets, which is Tver region, I believe. Yes, it is Tver region. And the partial evacuation has begun in this settlement. RT is reporting about it. So Ukrainian drone attack prompts a partial evacuation in a Russian town. This is the headline. So partial evacuation has been ordered in Toropets, a town of 11,000 to the northwest of Moscow, where fragments of the downed Ukrainian drone started the fire. Tver region government Igor Rudenier said in the early hours of Wednesday. Russian media is not providing information what caught the fire, what has happened, or why evacuation has begun. Although on internet there are videos that are circulating about massive explosions, huge explosions, and according to those channels, this is happening exactly in vicinity of Toropets. So it seems like a munition depot was hit, although this is not official information, and that's why, by the way, I did not share that video on my Telegram channel, because there is no way to confirm that this is definitely explosions not far away from Toropets. But whatever the case, even officials are admitting that the situation is that our emergency situation, basically. All schools and kindergartens in Toropets were shut down, and the partial evacuation is on the way to make sure that civilians are safe. Vzglyad newspaper is reporting about article in Politico, according to which number of high-ranking officials, former and current officials in Kyiv regime, including military personnel, were against Kursk invasion. Including Zaluzhny, by the way, but Zelensky, according to Politico, did not listen to opinions of others. And whenever I see this type of information, when Zaluzhny is mentioned, and if an article is from major Western propaganda outlet like Politico is, quite influential one, I always think that maybe what is happening is that some media operation is on the way, and the Western ruling class is preparing ground to replace Zelensky. And most likely he will be replaced by Zaluzhny. Earlier, I reported that according to rumors that are circulating on internet, London was backing Zaluzhny's candidacy, and Washington agreed with London at some point. But then something has changed. Washington changed its opinion, and Washington started considering some other candidacies to replace Zaluzhny, including former Interior Minister of Ukraine. Although with this article in Politico, one may argue that, who knows, maybe Washington has changed its mind once again, and London managed to persuade White House that Zaluzhny is the best candidacy to replace Zelensky. In any case, it is becoming clear that blame for this failed, total failure, whether this Kursk invasion, blame will go for Zelensky and his associates, including Syrskyi, current head of general staff of the Kyiv regime. And preparations of the ground for that is on the way. Otherwise, I don't think Politico will even touch on this topic. This is clearly an article in Politico that was authorized or ordered by Pentagon or CIA, something like that. There is no way, by the way, Western media outlet gonna come up with an article that is somewhat critical of Zelensky without authorization of their secret services in those countries, right? It's just that simple. Vzglyad newspaper is reporting that, well, European Union, by the way, if you're wondering how much money EU already laundered through Ukraine, which is, of course, biggest ever in human history money laundering scheme, money laundering machine, then, well, we have some numbers here. So, EU, European Commission, stated that EU provided Kyiv with overall support of 118 billion euros, which is, I guess, about 125, 130 billion dollars, maybe a bit more. And from these sums, 43.5 billion went to military industrial complex for military purchases, and rest, I guess, formally went to Kyiv regime for some, as a financial support, but most likely significant volume of this sum went back to EU on bank accounts of, yet again, military industrial complex and these corrupt officials. So right now, European Union is actively working on, or Brussels are actively working to provide Kyiv regime with another $50 billion, although this time scheme is that they want to give some credits, loans to Kyiv regime under guarantees of Russian frozen assets, profits from the Russian frozen assets, and that's why Brussels are considering now to prolong freezing of the Russian assets, not for 6 months as it was done previously, but straight away for 3 to 5 years, so that creditors will be encouraged this way to provide some sums to Zelensky and his associates. This is stealing, by the way, of Russian assets. And yesterday, information was officially confirmed by EU official deputy, I believe, vice president of the European Commission, that first 1.4 billion euros from frozen Russian assets already being directed to purchase some weapons for the Kyiv regime. So EU starts stealing Russian assets. It's official now. So, I mean, if anything was left from a reputation of the Eurozone or European financial and banking system, Brussels down at that left whatever was left from reputation of the EU through a drain pipe or something. It's it's total embarrassment when for Europe what is happening there, and Brussels clearly destroying from within not just the European Union but reputation and the good name of all the EU member states. If they had a good name, by the way. I mean, some may argue that a majority of EU member states never had any good name worldwide, but okay, it's it's topic that is always open for discussion. Let's continue. And RT, by the way, is reporting that the Russian nuclear test site is ready for operations, according to high-ranking commander. So Russia's Novaya Zemlya range in Arctic is ready to resume nuclear testing at any moment. The commander of their facility, Admiral Andrei Sinistyan, has stated the Novaya Zemlya site, which is located on the island of the same name in the Arctic Ocean, was once one of the Soviet Union's main nuclear testing range, which is true, obviously. There was no Zemlya testing range where this Tsar bomb was tested, by the way, 50 megaton bomb, biggest ever thermonuclear weapon that was tested by humanity. And there was also Semipalatinsk test site, by the way. I believe it was in Kazakhstan. So yes, Novaya Zemlya is operational now. Russia last carried out the detonation there in 1990, but since then has upheld their moratorium on nuclear testing, despite the range not being used for its intended purpose for 34 years. Its infrastructure has been maintained and it remains ready to resume full-scale testing activities, Sinistyan told Rossiyskaya Gazeta on Tuesday. It is fully ready. The laboratory and the testing base are ready. The personnel are ready. If we get the order, we can begin testing at any time. he said, and this is very important, dear friends, timing are very important of this news, and it was published on Novaya Gazeta, which is official media outlet of the Russian government, if I'm not mistaken. It is state-run media, obviously, and this information was published in Novaya Gazeta absolutely not randomly. It had a purpose, because, of course, Western think tanks, Western analysts, experts, maybe some politicians will pay attention to this news, and well, because of the timing of this news, when we are on the edge of next level of escalation between Russia and NATO, anything is possible. Maybe we are about to observe nuclear testing on our Novaya Zemlya site, test site. It is possibility. Moscow may detonate nuclear weapon there and send as clear message to Western ruling elites, Western political class as possible, that they are playing with fire, and they should think about their next steps in regards to Russia. Otherwise, these games with fire may end very badly for Western ruling class, Western ruling elites, and for everybody. I mean, if it comes to full-scale nuclear exchange, then everybody is in trouble, right? And Moscow don't want this to happen. Moscow is very clear about it, but same time, Russia has to protect itself, right? And if Western ruling class will not stop this constant escalation with Russia, then something very big is and devastating might be provoked by those criminals, basically, that are representing collective West right now and pulling the strings there. And that's why I'm calling them, I call Western ruling elites, Western ruling class, as an existential threat for humanity, because this is true. This is actually true, factual information. TASS news agency is reporting that Livan, by the way, Lebanon, in Russian it's Livan, sounds like my name a little bit. My name is Levan, this country called Livan, but in English it's Lebanon. So Lebanon blames Israel for detonations of their pagers. That happened yesterday. It was a mass detonation of their hundreds, if not thousands, of pagers, by the way, that happened all across the Lebanon. And reports are that more than 1,000 people were injured, or several people were killed as a result of these detonations. According to some sources, even 2,000 people were wounded. And reports are coming in that Israeli secret services hack these pagers and cause them to explode, overheat and explode. Although this morning I also saw some additional reports. For example, this information from Reuters that TASS news agency pay attention to, according to which Hezbollah recently ordered 5,000 these devices, communication devices, and it is, according to, yet again, Reuters, probably somehow Israeli secret services intercepted these drones and put some explosive materials inside the drones. Only a couple of grams, by the way, only a couple of grams, and then these explosives are detonated after special signal was sent on these pagers. Although, of course, this is all speculations. Definitely hard to know what had happened, but this is definitely not random stuff, that's for sure. And this is very worrisome development, by the way. If Israeli secret services were able to hack these communication devices and cause overheating so much so that these devices exploded, then that's a security concern for all of humanity, because in that case, any communication device may be hacked and explode, including notebooks, phones, you name it, right? So this is a big security concern, obviously, and there may be to downgrade risks, and to protect manufacturers of these gadgets. Reuters and special force secret services come up with this news that this purchase was intercepted, and several grams of explosive materials were planted inside these devices. I guess Hezbollah will come up with its own explanations on that, and if we are talking about thousands of devices, most likely at least some of them malfunction and didn't explode, and probably experts will open those devices and check if there is any explosive inside or not, because if there is no explosive materials inside these gadgets, then that means that no device, by the way, no device in this world is safe, and secret services can basically take out just about anybody with these devices by hacking them and causing overheating, so much so that batteries will explode. Very strange developments are happening, by the way, very strange developments, and of course more information is needed to know for sure, but I would not be surprised at all if shares of phone manufacturers and manufacturers of the batteries will plummet after what had happened in Lebanon, because this is not okay, by the way. This is not okay. If I cannot be sure that my phone is safe, for example, it will not explode, then what the hell? I may start looking for some alternatives, right? And probably many of you will think the same, right? So this is a big security concern for the whole of humanity, I guess, because almost probably you will struggle to find a family that don't have at least several gadgets nowadays, right? Kommersant newspaper is reporting that Secretary of the Russia's Security Council had a meeting with visited Iran, had a surprise visit to Iran, and had a meeting with Pezeshkian, newly elected president of Iran, and once again we have indicators about further improved cooperation between Russia and Iran, increased cooperations, and of course visit of Shoigu gonna cause additional rumors to be generated in the Western media, and probably we're gonna see new waves of articles in the Western propaganda about Iranian missiles, drones. Maybe at one point, after those propaganda outlets will run out of topic, maybe they will start publishing articles how Iran is providing Russia with the tanks or some other armored vehicles, maybe even machine guns, for example, with AKs. Russia is producing AKs, but Iran will provide Russia with AKs, because I mean Western propaganda has to write some nonsense. I mean they just cannot stop, right? So information itself is definitely important. It is good to know that relationships between Moscow and Tehran are on a best ever level, by the way. Probably historians will agree with me that relationships between Moscow and Tehran was never ever on such a good level and such a friendly, cooperative level, which is great. which is great, by the way. I'm happy for both countries. RT is reporting that Macron impeachment resolution is approved. So proposal to impeach French President Emmanuel Macron has cleared the major procedure hurdle in the country's parliament and will proceed to the committee stage for consideration. Okay, this leftist coalition is definitely not stopping. They are not happy that Macron refused to appoint their candidacy on a prime minister's post, and seems like Macron has just two options really on its hands. He might dismiss parliament. I guess he has such a right, as all the presidents or majority of the presidents do. So he can dismiss parliament, and then there will be new parliamentary elections, or he has to resign. He has to resign and appoint new presidential elections, because seems like this coalition in parliament, leftist coalition that received majority of the votes of the French citizens during the recent parliamentary elections, they are not stopping, and they are not happy, absolutely not happy with Macron due to his refusal to cooperate and to appoint a candidate from that coalition as a prime minister. RIA Novosti is also reporting that, well, as I already said, dear friends, vice president of the European Parliament, not the European Commission, but no, I was correct. Sorry, sometimes this European Commission, European Parliament, European this and that, it can be confusing. So yes, vice president of European Commission, while this Dombrovskis stated in European Parliament that first 1.4 billion euros from the frozen Russian assets, profits from the frozen Russian assets, already been directed by, transferred by Brussels for purchases of the weapon systems for Kyiv regime, which is definitely, I mean, just additional proof at this point of downfall of not just European Union, but European political class, European banking and financial institutions. And in addition, if that was not enough, by the way, I'll give you this news that from 1st of October, sorry, from 1st of November, from 1st of November, yes, Kaja Kallas, former Estonian prime minister, will become a top EU diplomat. So this person that is barely qualified to clean the streets, to work as a cleaner, is going to be top diplomat in the EU, by the way. So, well, good luck with that, man. Good luck with such leadership. What can I say? She was a prime minister of Estonia. Okay, Estonia has no, standards. Obviously, only standard Estonia has is to be Nazi and Russophobe. If you are Nazi and Russophobe, rest of it don't matter in that so-called country. So therefore, I'm not really surprised that this totally uneducated individual was a prime minister of Estonia, and she was forced out of office, by the way. Even for these Estonian Nazis and fascists, she was too incompetent, which is, I mean, quite strange, given their overall competency in Estonia is lower than bottom, by the way. They have no competency on nothing. And this failed state should not exist really on the political map. I hope one day Finland will take that territory, because Estonians are Finno-Ugric people, by the way. They are relatives, basically, Estonians and Finns, and I hope Estonia will become part of Finland one day, because on its own, this nonsense should not exist as a state, because it's a joke. I mean, let's be clear on that. I mean, it's a total joke. And this totally unqualified individual is going to be number one diplomat of EU. Okay, I can imagine how difficult it's gonna be for professional diplomats worldwide to have a conversation with this stupid element, man. I mean, about what they gonna talk. I doubt she can say even single complex sentence, by the way, or read single complex sentence and understood. So that's how bad the situation really is, by the way, when it comes to EU. They have these uneducated individuals on high-ranking official positions, and no wonder EU is going down, by the way, big time. Although ideology, I mean, at this point, I guess Western ruling class forces that are pulling the strings, they don't really know professionals. They don't really want true diplomats because they want puppets that will push whatever ideology is being given to them by these masters of the collective West, right? And in this regard, of course, these stupid people in high-ranking positions in the EU member states and in Brussels, of course, these stupid people will sign up for anything. Because can you imagine how joyful she is that someone without any education, without any experience in anything, any success in anything, she did not achieve anything in her life. And she is not alone, by the way. Take a look at the 90% of the officials in Europe, by the way. And you will see the same picture. People that never achieve nothing in their lives are somehow ending up on top positions. How? Because it's a joy for them, by the way. They would never even dream about achieving anything in their life, and just for signing up for some orders from whomever, and just for pushing certain narratives, they are getting rich life, by the way. They are getting famous. They are getting all their attention they wanted, they dreamed about, or maybe never even dreamed about, because who would think that this individual, Kaja Kallas, who grew up in an Estonian communist family and was not really suppressed. I mean, I saw pictures of her family from Soviet era, and they had a quite good, decent life, right? Although she did not really spend too much time on education, so I mean that's a whole different story. But yes, this individual, this Russophobe, by the way, extreme Russophobe, is going to be top diplomat in EU, and I don't know. If Borrell was bad, by the way, can you imagine how bad things are gonna go from 1st of November when Kallas will be put in office? Anyways, who cares, man? I mean, I just wanted to highlight level of degradation of the political class in Europe. Otherwise, I mean, they all are the same. They all are the same, by the way. Stupider individuals, disgrace for humanity. And I will end this update, by the way, on this news that according to Interfax, Brent oil is getting more and more expensive. It reached Brent crude, by the way, reached $73.36. Just a couple of days ago, it was below $70 at some point, and now prices are improving, and in my understanding, prices between $70 and $80 are okay for majority of the oil-producing nations. So I wanted to highlight this information because it seems like prices are stabilized again on oil market. Although, by the way, as I reported yesterday, There are some predictions from Western financial institutions that average price on Brent in 2025 might be around $60. Let's see. At least for now, price, as you can see, is definitely significantly higher than that. And this is important for Russia because Russian Urals crude is price for Russian Urals is connected with the Brent prices. So therefore, price on Brent can indicate potential price on Urals also. And this is it for now. Relatively short update, by the way, which is a great. I regret now that I spoke too much. I paid too much attention to this Kaya Kallas individual. But anyways, we have a right to express our opinion on certain officials, isn't it? If she was a private individual, who cares? But she is about to become a top diplomat in EU, and she was Prime Minister of Estonia and demonstrated extreme Russophobia and extreme hatred towards Russians. So therefore, it is obvious that I have no warm feelings for people like that, understandably so. Anyways, this is it for now. Hopefully you'll find this relatively short update interesting, informative, hopefully useful also, and who knows, maybe entertaining. That would be good. And if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything, any topic will do, to at least try and influence the algorithm to reach wider audience. And for very same reason, if you can, please share information about my channel in real life with your friends or on internet, on any of the platforms that you are actively using. And finally, if you like my work, if you like my channels and want to support her, or if you want some more news from Russia or more content from Russia, please consider to support her with donation through PayPal or Boosty platforms, or by subscribing, or subscribe to my Patreon page and a Boosty page on which I have plenty of extra content on a regular basis, including news updates. So yes, all the links under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. And I just add that subscription on Patreon starts from $5 a month, and on Boosty from 500 rubles on month. Although of course you would not pay in rubles, you will pay in your national currency, and the platform will automatically do exchange. Okay, this is it for now. Have a great day, and if you are a member of our Patreon and Boosty community, see you later today, this evening, in a second update. And if you are not, then see you tomorrow. Have a great day.